two poles of equal height. This has come in the SSC already. Only thing he will change some angles. He may change the angles and he may change the distance between the poles. What is the distance between the poles? He has given 120 meters. No? The road width is how much? What is the distance between the poles? The width of the road. The width of the road is distance between the poles. Exactly road का इस तरफ और exactly road के इस तरफ दो पोला है. So what is the distance between the pole? The road. The width of the road. The width of the road is the distance between the two poles, right? So what is the distance? 120 meters. And from some point, the observer is watching the top of the poles, both the poles. Okay? And is that point exactly in the middle? No. Why it is not exactly in the middle? Because the angles of elevations are not same. The angles of elevation is not same. It is 60 degrees and 30 degrees. First pole angle of elevation is 60 degrees. It means the point of observation is nearer the first pole. It is a little bit far away from the second pole. Second pole से जरा जास्ती दूर में है. First pole से करीबी में है. Why means the angle of elevation is more. First pole का angle of elevation is more. It means he is raising the head little more. It means when he is close, he will have to raise the head. If he is far, he has to lower his head. इधर से मैं वो वॉल को टॉप को देखे तो ऐसा देख तुमने ऐसा like this. Angle is this much. When I go closer, I have to see the top of the pole. I have to raise my head. It means I am close to the target. टारगेट को मैं नजदीक है तो क्या हो रहा? एंगल बढ़ रहा. एंगल ऑफ एलिवेशन बढ़ रहा. The angle of elevation is increasing. The angle of elevation is increases if you are nearer to the object. So which is that object? The top of the first pole. The top of the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. This means he is nearer to the first pole. He is not exactly in the middle. That's why he maintained from a point in between them. From the point in between them. In between the two poles. From a point. It means the point can be anywhere between them. Anywhere between them. Here we have to make a diagram such that the point of observation is nearer to the first pole. It is nearer to the... Why? Why? No one is there. All are dead. Why it is nearer to the first pole? Why it is nearer to the first pole? Angle of elevation is more. Only one person is listening. All are not listening. All are gone. Angle of elevation is more. So is nearer to the... It means so much action also, no reaction from your side. So much action I am doing, I am showing. And Falana X madam is not at all interested in those actions. They just want to get it into the notes. Notes में उतार देंगे, जाके एग्जाम में लिखेंगे. It's not possible. Without understanding, no maths. Without understanding, you are not going to write any maths. Understand? Why the person is... Observer is closer to the first pole? Sound has to be more, no? Kiska more? Not first pole. The top of the first pole. Not first pole. The top of the angle of elevation is more. The second pole, angle of elevation is less. Is far a little bit far away from the second pole. Is nearer to the first pole. Is little far away from the second pole. So the point of observation is not exactly in the middle. It's not exactly in the middle. It's not the midpoint. It is not the... If it would have been the midpoint, angles would be same. The angles would be... Because the poles are having same height. The poles are having same height. So the angles also will be same. If it is exactly in the midpoint. Okay? So you understood, you are having a mental... I mean to say, idea of the diagram. mental idea of the diagram. The point should be nearer the first pole. It has to be far away from the second pole. So like that we have to draw a diagram. Okay, like this. This is the road. This is the road. These are the two poles. Pole 1, pole 2, equal heights. Equal heights. Distance between them is 120 meters. Right? That is the width of the road. This is all road. This is the road. And these are the poles on either side of the road. Okay. Standing on opposite side to each other on either side of the road. Road के दो तरफ opposite एक के opposite में एक. Now where shall I take the point of observation? Closer to the first pole. Closer to the nearer to the far away from the second pole. Nearer to the first pole. And I have to write the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. And from here it is 30 degrees. And this point of observation is, suppose, X. And these ends are AB. So the point of observation is X. The point of observation is X. Man is observing from there. Okay. First pole, Y is closer to the first pole. Sound. Elevation is more. Why is it bit far away from the second pole? Now we have to get the sides of the triangle. The sides of the already we are having P1 as H. Now we have to have AX. We have to know AX. Why means marking is there on AB. Marking is there on AB. No marking on the hypotenuse. No marking on the. It means again tan. Again tan. So tan means we have to have the adjacent side. Na? This is the opposite side. Opposite side. We have to have the adjacent side. So imagine AX is X meters. AX is, how much is AX? So dx would be 120 minus x. It would be 120 minus x. Right? If this is x, total is 120. The other part would be 120 minus x. To get the second part, to get the second part, we have to subtract the first part from the total. What is the total distance? 120. What is one part? X. So the second part is 120 minus x. 120 minus, you are having 100 rupees in the pocket. You spent 30 rupees. How much is remaining? Not 70. 100 minus 30. 100 minus, you have 100 rupees in your pocket. You spent 30 rupees. How much is there? You are having 120 rupees. You spent x rupees. How much is remaining? Very simple, na? 120 minus x. Is it? Now you got it into your head? To get the second part, what would be the program? Total minus first part. Total minus, total is 120. First part is x. So the second part would be 120 minus x. The diagram is fulfilled now. Names are also given. What is the name of the first triangle? P1 AX. P1 AX. And what is the second triangle? P2 DX. P2 DX. Don't forget to take the vertices as capital letters. This is small x. This is capital X. Vertices of the triangle will not be taken as small alphabets. They will be taken as the bigger alphabets. Okay. So shall we start now? How shall we start? Let the distance between the first pole and the point of observation be x. Adena, have to start like that, no? Let height of both poles be h meters. Let the height of both the poles be h meters. The distance between first pole and point of observation. Ide distance between the first pole from the point of observation. Ade rastunnam. The distance between the first pole and the point of, find the height of the pole. Find the, let the height of the pole be, let the height of the pole be h. Let the height of the pole be h. Right? And the distance of between the first pole, the distance between the first pole and point of observation be x. అదే క్వశ్చన్ అడిగింది, అదే లెట్ అని పెట్టుకున్నాం. which puts a question what is asking? Find the height of the pole. So let the height of the pole be h meters. What is the second one? Find the distance between point of observation and the first pole. So let the distance between the point of observation and first pole be x meters. Right? Now start off. Now in triangle P1AX, P1 tan 60, no? So tan 60 is P1A opposite side by adjacent side AX. Tan 60 is root 3, P1A is H by AX is X. AX is X. So H is equal root 3x. Equation 1. H is equal. Then in triangle P1 BX, P2 BX, P2 tan 30 is equal P2B by BX. P2B by, so tan 30 is 1 by root 3. P2B is H by BX is 120 minus X. You can see BX, no? BX is 120 minus cross multiplying root 3H. Root 3H is equal 120 minus X. Equation 2. Equation 2. 120 minus x into 1, 120 minus x. One is multiplicative identity. One is 1 into 120 minus x, 120 minus x. Okay? Root 3 into h, root 3h. Now, here we are having an assumed value of h. H ka assumed value kehta hai. So, this can be substituted in the second equation. So, 1 in 2. 1 in 2 we are not having any assumed values. H का नहीं मालूम, x का नहीं मालूम, इधर h का मालूम है. H कहता है root 3x. So we have to substitute that in the second equation. Okay. So 1 in 2 or 2 in 1? 1 in. So write down 2. H is how much? Root 3x. Root 3x. 120 minus x. Root 3 into root 3, 3x. Minus x comes this side, plus x is equal 120 degrees. 120 meters, is it? Now 3x plus x, 4x is equal 120. 4 will go 30 times. So you are getting x is equal 30 meters. X is equal 30 meters. So the distance between the first pole and the point of observation is 30 meters. We got the second question. What is the second question here? Find the distance between the first pole from the point of observation, and that is x, and that is x. So we got x. We got x as 30 meters. Now we have to get h, height. Just now which equation is substituted? 1 in 2. 1 in you again go back to 1. Again, if you do 2 in 1, go back to 2. If you do 2 in 1, go back to 2. If you do 1 in 2, go back to 1. Now what is 1? H is equal root 3x. 1 implies H is equal root 3x. H is equal root 3 into 30. So H is equal 30 root 3 meters. So the height of both the poles are 30 root 3 meters. दोनों poles का height क्या है? 30 root 3. So understood now? Here what you have to know correctly? Point number 1. The point of observation is not exactly in the middle. It is not exactly in the middle. How it is? Little towards the first pole. Little nearer to the first pole. Why means the angle of elevation is 60 degrees. So it is nearer to the first pole. Okay. So if the first pole distance is 30 meters, what is the second pole distance? 90. Why means दोनों मिलके कितना 120. दोनों मिलके सो अगर से 30 है इनो कितना रहता 120 माइनस 30. 120 माइनस 30 90 मीटर दूर पे है. सेकेंड पोल कितना दूर में है 90 meters. It's a lot of distance. 90 meters. 90 meters from the second pole. Only 30 meters from the first pole. So what argument I have put forth? నేను పెట్టిన ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ రైట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్? जो argument में वो आनी चाहिए. What argument I put in is understood by you? If the angle of elevation is greater, the distance is nearer to the target. Okay. So the first pole is only 30 meters away from the point of observation, and the second pole is 90 meters away from the point of observation. Okay.